Hi friends, welcome back to the mat. My name is Katie and I'll be your guide for today's practice. So today I want to do something a little bit different. I want to share with you a tool that I use to release tension in my body from a long day or after I'm sitting a lot. And that is the foam roller. So if you have used this before, good for you. If you don't have one, I highly recommend getting this. Unfortunately, for this practice, you do need it just because it's quite a specific shape and there's not a lot that you can substitute for this. So get yourself a foam roller, come on back, or check out one of my other classes that you can do on my channel. So let's get started. We're just going to start actually without the foam roller. Come into any comfortable seated position and we're just going to do some seated cat-cow. So you can keep your knees, hands on your knees or in front of you, and inhale, pulling the chest forward, exhale, rounding the back, kind of relaxing the head. Inhale, arch, exhale the round. This is just helping us to warm up our spine, kind of counteract some of that rounding and hunching we might do during the day if we're typing, if we're on our phones a lot. And really just starting to connect to the breath, moving at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Each time you round the back, you can think about pushing the air out of the belly, out of the lungs. And with each inhale, expanding, filling up. Doing a few more, really tuning into the breath, feeling into the body. Maybe these are the first deep breaths that you've taken all day. Okay, and coming into stillness and gently closing the eyes, just taking a little bit of an inventory of how your body is feeling today. Tuning into what your body needs today. I'm here as a guide, but always listening to your body. That is really the most important thing. And if you'd like, you can set an intention for today. Whether it's to release tension in the body, stress from the mind. And opening the eyes. Now we're going to grab the foam roller. So the foam roller is really great because when we place pressure on these points, it helps to release the tension even more. That pressure, working with the pressure points and meridians, which are the energy lines of the body. So we're going to start with we're just going to start with kind of a complete body rollout. So we're going to place the foam roller. Let's place it right kind of at the low back here. Leaning back a bit. And kind of lifting the bottom a little bit. And slowly rolling along the spine. You can walk your feet forward a little bit, rolling a little bit more, bringing the arms overhead. Exhale. And on the inhale, we're going to slowly roll back up, pushing into the feet, pushing back, rolling along the spine. We can walk, step the feet in a little bit, up to the low back. Inhale here and exhale, going back down. Now, if you feel tension in any spots, you can stop there and breathe a bit. walking slowly. This is really helping to release any tension in the vertebra of the spine. You might feel some gentle cracking. If you feel intense pain, please stop. It's okay to feel some discomfort in yoga, but if there's ever sharp pains, that is your sign to step back and listen to your body. Okay, now we're going to stop here with the foam roller kind of at the shoulder blades. Arms overhead. Take an inhale and exhale. We're just going to move the arms. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale down. This is kind of releasing tension for me in the shoulder and the neck. Inhale overhead. And exhale down by the sides. Now plant the forearms. You can kind of hold on to the edges of the mat, pulling yourself up. Now we're going to move down to the legs. So scooting back a bit, placing the foam roller at the ankles. And we're just going to kind of roll out the calves. So I like to lift my bottom up. Again, it depends how much pressure you want to put on this calf. If you have really tight calves, if you're putting a lot of pressure, it's going to be really painful. So again, taking this at your own level. I like to lift up a bit and rolling out the calf this way. Breathing, inhale, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Doing a few more. Going as fast or as slow as you want. Again, if you feel some areas which need a little bit of love, a little bit of release, just pause there. Again, we're focusing on the breath. Really breathing is what helps to release a lot of tension in the body, as well as stretching. Okay, when you feel done with that side, then we're going to switch, planting the right foot on the floor, or the opposite of whichever one you did. Starting at the ankle, inhale forward, exhale back. And then kind of finding whatever stance works for you. Nice deep breaths. Okay, for this one, if you want to come along with me and do both legs. This one is a little more challenging. You might have to walk. We're going to kind of go into a reverse tabletop. Reverse plank. Going back. Okay, so this is going to take some arm strength, some core strength. If this is not for you, keep with just one leg at a time. Okay, if you're coming along with me. So ankles on our foam roller, hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the bottom up, pushing up into our reverse table till the roller will be about at your calves. Inhale, exhale. Staying lifted if you can. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reverse table. And exhale back, holding just another beat. And dropping the seat. Shaking out the wrists, shaking out the arms. So that's a little bit of a release and a strengthening there. Now we're going to move to our hamstrings here. So we'll kind of set it up as before, planting one foot and lifting the bottom. Inhaling forward. Ooh. Again, just kind of walk and find your spot that works. Inhaling forward, exhaling back. Pausing for any tight spots, breathing into those, and switch. I'm gonna shift. Again, you're gonna be rolling around a little bit, so shift on your mat as you need to. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Okay. This one is a little tricky for me because my foam roller is a little bit narrow. If it works for you to put both thighs on the foam roller, you can do that. And we'll do kind of the same thing as before, but we're gonna start kind of behind our knees a little bit, above the knees. Inhaling forward, exhaling back, rolling out those hamstrings. And down. Okay, now we're gonna do the neck again just because I think it's so important. For me personally, I have a lot of tension in the neck and shoulders, and I think a lot of us do because of lifestyle of being on a phone or on a computer. We're rounding so much. So this might depend on how thick your foam roller is. We're gonna put it long ways this time. And you're gonna wanna lay over it. So we're gonna position it so it's in the middle of the back, in between the shoulder blades. Resting the head, you can rest the head on the mat, just let the head fall. If this is not comfortable for you, you can place a block under the head or a pillow. So something like this. Finding a spot that's comfortable. Okay, so we're really expanding in the chest, opening the heart, releasing tension in the shoulders and the neck. If this feels good, you can place the hands alongside your body. You could place them in like goalposts. This is going to be a little bit more intense opening of the shoulders. So just doing whatever feels best for you and breathe. Filling up the body, filling up the lungs with breath, exhaling completely. This is also really nice to do in the morning when you wake up. We have a tendency to build up tension when we sleep as well, depending on your sleeping position. So this can be a really good way of opening up the body in the morning in a gentle way. Taking a few more breaths. And then planting the palms, grabbing onto the sides of the mat to kind of help you get up slowly. So whatever we're stretching, whenever we're opening, we want to ease out of that slowly. Okay, now we're going to stand up, place it about in the middle of the mat. Starting with the right foot, we'll step the right foot over. And your feet can be about hips distance apart. We're going to come into like a pyramid pose. Taking an inhale here, and exhale with a flat back, bending over the front leg. Going only down as far as you can keep a straight back. So think about keeping the hips squared to the front. You can drop the fingertips if you like, or keeping the hands on the hips. And we're breathing into the back of this front leg. Now bending into the front leg, planting the palms, we're just going to kind of step this back into a lunge. Roll our foam roller back there, and we're going to place the back ankle. So if you need to manually adjust that, do that. Coming into the lunge. And then we're going to roll out the front of that shin just by rocking forward and back, forward and back. Again, breathing, backing out if this is not feeling good. Okay, and then placing the toes on the mat. You can kind of move your foam roller forward. We're going to do that same motion on the upper thigh. So pointing the toe. And again, you might have to kind of shift a little bit. This part might feel painful. For me, it really does on this part. So tucking the toe is going to give a little bit less sensation because it's a little bit less of your weight going onto the foam roller. Rolling out that thigh. Okay. Some pain there, some tension. Okay. Tucking the toes, lifting the leg, taking the foam roller. You could just put it in front of you. We'll push back to down dog. Planting the palms, planting the feet, lifting the hips high, relaxing the head. Deep inhale. Exhale, release. Okay. Stepping forward towards the hands. And on an inhale, rolling up slowly, letting your head be the last thing. Okay. We can take our foam roller, place it back towards the middle of the mat, and step forward with the left leg this time. We'll start in our pyramid pose. So the back foot's going to be about a 45-degree angle. Front foot is pointing forward, hips squared, back straight, slowly bending down until you feel that stretch. That's the most important. You can keep the hands on the hips or fingertips to the mat. So think of each time you inhale is going to lengthen the body, Exhale, you're going to deepen the stretch. It doesn't have to be a large movement, but that's kind of the idea. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to deepen. Okay, now we're going to bend into this front knee. This here, you might want to place your foam roller by your ankle there, going into our lunge. And we'll start by rolling out the shin. So keeping the toes up for this one. I guess a lot of us don't have too much tension in our shins here. And of course, you're going to be feeling the stretch on your right hip flexor. Okay, now we're going to move that foam roller up a bit, placing it just above the knee and rolling into our thigh. You can start with toes tucked to see how that's feeling for you. And then you can untuck the toes, feeling how that feels for you. A few more deep breathing. Okay, tuck the toes. Take out the foam roller. Step back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale. Now placing the knees on the mat, sinking back into child's pose. Taking a moment here. Feeling the ribs expand. Letting the body relax. Feeling the release of the tension that you've created. On your next inhale, slowly walk yourself back. Come to seated. Hands to heart center. Rubbing the palms together, placing them over the heart. Feeling how your body feels now and the space that you've created. The space that you've created in your body, I believe, also creates more space in the mind. Oftentimes our emotions, feelings can get stuck in the body as tension. And when we release that physical tension, it can also help to dislodge some of that emotional stuck energy. So just tuning into how your body feels for just a few more breaths. Bringing the hands to heart center. Opening up the eyes. Thank you so much for coming to the mat today, for taking this time for yourself.